Texas is home to rattlesnakes, wild hogs, mountain lions, alligators, and scorching heat. But what if we added one more creature to that list? Kangaroos. Could these iconic Australian hoppers actually survive, thrive, or even become invasive in the Lone Star State? Today, we're breaking down the climate, predators, food sources, breeding habits, and real survival science to answer once and for all, could kangaroos live in Texas? And trust me, the conclusion might surprise you. It's a wild thought. First, you have to look at the environment's most basic challenge, the weather. Survival 101. Australia, Texas. Australia and Texas are both known for their brutal heat. This is a massive advantage for the kangaroo. The red kangaroo, the largest of them all, is a master of the desert. It's built for the scorching sun of the outback. They've evolved incredible tricks to cope. They can limit their movement during the hottest part of the day, seeking shade under a lone tree, a rocky overhang. They even lick their forearms. Blood vessels lie close to the surface. Evaporation cools them down. It's a natural air conditioning system. Texas can throw some serious heat. Large parts of the state have climates similar to semi-arid Australia. West Texas, the Panhandle. We're talking long, hot summers where temperatures soar. A kangaroo would feel right at home in that kind of heat. They wouldn't just survive. They'd be in their element while other animals struggle. The eastern gray kangaroo, woodlands, forests, could find suitable homes in temperate parts of East Texas. The climate match is surprisingly strong. This isn't a polar bear in the Sahara. It's a seasoned desert survivor in a new desert. But Texas weather is notoriously fickle. It's not just about heat. Sudden, violent thunderstorms, flash floods, blue northers, rapid temp drops, freezes, ice storms. While kangaroos are tough, a sudden deep freeze would shock their system. They don't have thick winter coats like deer. A severe, prolonged cold snap could be a major killer, especially in northern Texas. Water is the other side of the climate coin. Kangaroos are incredibly efficient with water. The red kangaroo can go long periods without drinking. It gets most moisture from the plants it eats. This is a critical survival skill. With the climate handled, the next priority is calories. Texas grasslands look like a buffet, but the plants are unfamiliar. As adaptable foragers, they'd learn what's safe. For water, they'd tap into thousands of man-made stock tanks built for cattle. But the real test is a severe Texas drought, when resources vanish and competition becomes fierce. Here, their efficient bounding could be the key to outlasting other animals. In Texas, the kangaroo faces a new set of killers. Intelligent coyotes hunt in packs, targeting the young and vulnerable. In more rugged areas, mountain lions are powerful ambush predators, capable of taking down a full-grown adult. But the most dangerous predator isn't a four-legged one. The vast network of roads would be a killing field. And if seen as pests, kangaroos would quickly end up in hunters' crosshairs. Humans are the ultimate apex predator, and their reaction would determine the kangaroo's fate. Survival isn't just about one animal staying alive. It's about creating the next generation. It's a numbers game. For a new population to take hold, it needs to reproduce faster than it dies. And this is where the kangaroo has a secret weapon: embryonic diapause. This allows a female kangaroo to have an embryo in suspended animation. She can have a newborn joey in her pouch, an older joey at her feet, and a fourth waiting to be born. It's a reproductive factory, a game changer. If conditions are good, plenty of food and water, she can raise young continuously. But if a drought hits or food becomes scarce, she can pause that embryo. The body just waits. When the rains return and the grass grows green again, the pregnancy restarts. The joey is born into a world of abundance. This gives kangaroo populations incredible resilience. They weather the bad times, then expand rapidly when conditions improve. A few surviving females could repopulate an area surprisingly quickly once a drought breaks. For this to work, you need a founding population. A single escaped kangaroo won't do it. You'd need a small group, a mob, at least a few healthy females and a male. Exotic animal ranches, private zoos in Texas are the most likely sources. Escapes happen, storms can damage fences, gates can be left open. If a small breeding group got into suitable habitat, Texas hill country, plains of the Panhandle, they could establish a foothold before anyone noticed. Initial survival depends on luck. Long-term success is driven by that reproductive engine. The growth potential is massive. Under ideal conditions, kangaroo populations can increase by over 30% per year. With abundant food and few predators, numbers could explode. Classic invasive pattern: rare, unnoticed, quietly building, then suddenly everywhere. The same strategy that works in Australia could make them unstoppable in resource-rich Texas. The question: could we stop them if they did? Beyond natural predators, the biggest obstacle for a kangaroo in Texas would be the man-made landscape. Texas is not an open wilderness. Private ranches, farms, towns, highways. The entire state is crisscrossed with fences. A large kangaroo can jump impressive heights, some over 6 feet, but they can't jump everything. A standard barbed wire fence might be a minor hurdle. A tall, sturdy game fence designed to contain exotic species like axis deer would be an impassable barrier. These fences would fragment the landscape. Fragmenting could trap kangaroos in some areas and keep them out of others. Fragmentation could lead to isolated populations. Isolated populations are more vulnerable to disease or local disasters. The biggest conflict would arise with agriculture. Kangaroos are grazers. They eat grass. In Texas, grass is money. It feeds the cattle that are the backbone of the state's ranching industry. If a mob of kangaroos moved onto a ranch, they would compete with livestock. A rancher who sees dozens consuming forage intended for his cattle is not going to see a fascinating piece of wildlife. He's going to see a pest, a threat to his livelihood, and he will act to remove it. We have seen this play out with introduced species all over the world. Small, contained populations of wallabies have become established outside Australia, a famous colony of red-necked wallabies in the Peak District of England, descendants of animals that escaped from a private zoo during World War II. Similar feral populations exist in New Zealand and on the island of Oahu in Hawaii. These examples prove macropods can survive and breed in foreign environments. They often remain localized, but their presence shows establishment is possible. The risk of them becoming a truly invasive species in Texas is real. An invasive species causes ecological or economic harm. By competing with native grazers like deer and pronghorn, kangaroos could impact native wildlife populations. By consuming pasture, they could harm the cattle industry. They could also carry new diseases or parasites that could affect livestock or native animals. The initial novelty would quickly wear off if they started causing tangible problems. State wildlife agencies would likely move to control or eradicate them, turning the human factor into their most determined adversary. So, what's the verdict? Could kangaroos survive in Texas? The answer is yes, in certain parts. The hot, semi-arid regions offer a similar climate to Australia, but could they conquer the state? Far less likely. Predators, fences, and highways pose immense challenges. The biggest obstacle would be conflict with humans. The most probable scenario isn't an invasion, but small, isolated populations surviving only where tolerated. Their existence would depend entirely on human will.